On Tuesday, the LGBTQ equality movement netted a major victory on Capitol Hill with the House's bipartisan passage of the Respect for Marriage Act. The bill would codify federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages, but it faces an uncertain path forward in the Senate as GOP senators work out their public positions on the issue. Just a decade ago, it would have been an unthinkable political win, and today it's a bittersweet reminder that the fight is not over. Joining me now is Gavin James Smith, founder and CEO of Gavin James Public Affairs and a former Trump administration official. Gavin, nearly 25% of House Republicans joined Democrats on Tuesday to vote yes for the Respect for Marriage Act. What does this tell us about where the Republican Party is on this issue?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on, Charles. What I think this tells us about the state of the Republican Party right now is that the Republican Party is still a little out of touch with the electorate. Furthermore, I think they're out of touch with the Republican voters. There's, like you just mentioned, 55% of Republicans support this issue of same-sex marriage. So I think that it shows that the Republican Party still has a long way to go on this issue.
Take a listen to what Ted Cruz had to say recently on the Supreme Court's Obergefell decision.
Obergefell, like Roe versus Wade, ignored 2 centuries of our nation's history. Marriage was always an issue that was left to the states. I think that decision was clearly wrong when it was decided. It was the court overreaching.
How do you respond to that as an out gay married man? Do you trust the states to uphold your right to marry the person you love?
Well, bless Ted Cruz's heart. First and foremost, no, I don't trust the states to handle this. I mean, just this year alone in 2022, we've seen more than 150 bills be introduced across the country that are targeting the LGBTQ plus community. Furthermore, in 30 plus states, there's constitutional amendments and legal provisions, just like in my home state of South Carolina, that would, if an Obergefell case was overturned, same-sex marriage would be outlawed in almost 50% of the country. So that's a very real reality, and it's something that's very scary to many LGBTQ plus Americans.
A Gallup poll released just a week ago found American support for gay marriage reached an all-time high of 71%. It's wildly popular, but are the votes there in the Senate? And what do senators like Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz even gain from standing in the way?
Well, it certainly appears that the votes are going to be there. I was very encouraged to see in the House of Representatives the 40 representatives that did vote in favor of the Respect for Marriage Act. You saw individuals like Liz Cheney, whose views have clearly evolved on this issue over the years. And then you have representatives like that from my home state, Representative Nancy Mace, who have been strong on this issue from the outset. So I think that as we go to the Senate, you're seeing senators like Tom Tillis and Joni Ernst, who are signaling their support for it. So I do think that there's a chance. And I think that this is a real opportunity for the Republican Party to prove that they mean what they say when they say they're the party of the family. They are the party of the family, or are they a party of just the families that they just the parties that they approve of?
Here's what Nebraska Republican Senator Ben Sasse had to say about the bill, and I'll get your reaction to this on the other side.
I don't think there is any concern. I think there's Nancy Pelosi stoking culture wars because it's what she does. She doesn't have a plan to help America, so she stokes culture wars. This is her shtick. I think it's insane that we're doing this.
So you just outlined all of these dangerous bills that are popping up across the country. What is the danger of folks like Ben Sasse minimizing what the GOP is doing with those bills?
Well, Ben Sasse, I think that he's very wrong on this issue because, like I just outlined, in more than 30 states, there's constitutional amendments and legal provisions. Furthermore, for the last 50 plus years, we've heard over and over from Republicans that Roe v. Wade was settled law. And then what did we see just a couple of weeks ago? We saw that law be overturned by the Supreme Court, by the very Supreme Court justices that swore in their testimony before the Senate that law was settled precedent. So in what world would we believe that they're not going to overturn this law and I think that's a very real concern.
So will this issue mobilize Republicans in the same way that, say, abortion has mobilized Republicans?
You know, Charles, I don't think that it will, and I'll tell you why. I don't think that it will mobilize Republicans because I'm a very outspoken gay Republican from South Carolina. In fact, I just got married to my husband 2 months ago, and we had an audience full of Republicans there. And, you know, we're also from the deep South, South Carolina, and it doesn't get much more conservative than that. So everywhere that I've gone in the 48 plus states that I visited with Republican campaigns, I've been welcomed with open arms. We saw in that poll that we mentioned earlier ago that 55% of Republicans support same-sex marriage. And I think that number is only growing. So again, I'll just put it to you this way. The Republicans have an opportunity here to choose bigotry, or they have the opportunity to be on the side of what's right.
Thank you, Gavin James Smith, and congratulations on your wedding. I don't think I can even remember what it felt like to be a newlywed, but thank you. Congratulations anyway.